I had to come from out of an environment that wasn't built for me. The first environment I was planted in with my family, God bless them, I wasn't meant to be there. So I had to be pulled up out of an environment so I can go into a different type of soil so I could be cultivated and blossom and become who I needed to become. It's like Joseph. Now, I'm not saying I'm righteous as Joseph because Joseph went to prison for righteousness. But it was the same thing. You had to be taken away from a place you weren't supposed to be so that you could be cultivated in your gift because you couldn't see your gift there.
You got challenges that you're going to run across.
When the elder will try to keep the younger weak so they can keep control. So he was bringing a lot of money in.
Right.
So he wanted to keep that dynamic there. You know, oh, these my little guys, my little workers.
Right.
That's like a slave master mentality. It's kind of like what James Allen be talking about, like many are masters because many are slaves. And Martin was like, I ain't no slave, man. I ain't meant to be up you like that, man.
Right.
This is not the dynamic. And it's just a lot there. I ain't gonna keep going because it goes so deep philosophically. But it's one of the most powerful scenes to me because it's that male dynamic. There's a lot of stuff there with male tribalism. There's a lot of stuff there when he told him, I treat you like a son. Right. Why didn't you treat him like a man?
Right.
You feel me? What grown man need to be treated like a man?
Yeah. And it's a lot of other, it's a little bit longer. Well, another part of that scene that was not in there is when, Prop Joe pretty much said, hey man, I can get this to you and I'll just go away. He said, you can't do that because I couldn't do it. Yeah, you just like me. You know what I'm saying? I know you couldn't do it.
40 years in.
Yeah.
You the dude that started in 87. You started in 85, 87.
Yeah.
Right? You was the first dude to cook it on the like, you still here.
Yeah, he's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Because I couldn't do it. He said, and what you were saying about, helping guys and stuff, pretty much that's my whole goal with you, man. That's why I want to see you out here. I want you to get your YouTube page and blow up because you doing it the right way. I mean, when I talked to you during that whole time in COVID while you was in, bro, you locked me in. And I had talked to a lot of other guys before, but we never had extended conversations. And what you were saying, it was almost like you got a hold of somebody that you wanted to talk to also. Because it was like, the stuff that we talked about, you probably couldn't talk to anybody about that. You probably couldn't even have a conversation with him. But what you were saying, I was like, man, that's the day I said, after we had talked for 5 months, I said, man, we got to start recording this. You know what I'm saying? Because that was
powerful that was.
Yeah. But I'm like
the recordings now and be like, man, I'm blown away, man.
Yeah. We had to start. I said, man, we got to hear this because what you were saying was what I was teaching. And you were so serious about it. I was like, man, when this guy get out, we got to push this guy to the top any way we can. Because there's a lot of guys out here doing stuff, but they still kind of in that whole realm of, that street stuff. Even though they're doing good, they're not committing crimes and stuff, but it's still glorifying the kind of street stuff. And that's what people want to see, but that's not what you're doing. You're giving them the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And this is what people really need to hear, man. You got so many stories and so many things that you can relate to in life. And man, I want to see you with the YouTube page. I want to see you blowing up with that. Look, Mike also, I got to get Mike on here, man, because Mike is the guy who introduced me to you. He told me, Mike said, man, I got the guy that you really need to talk to. I was just going through the numbers, and when I hit you and we started talking, I was like, wow, so, but.
And you can feel it. You can tell the difference. And like you were talking about, like, the reason why you do what you do is to see people fly.
Yeah.
The only reason I started a program, the only reason I got a program is because Dick Gregory say something. Dick Gregory was so crazy. I should have put some Dick Gregory on.
Yeah.
Dick Gregory was crazy.
Yeah.
Dick Gregory made me laugh. Anyway, he said, once you put these glasses on, you can't take them off, right?
Yeah, take them off. You chosen one. Yeah.
So once these glasses came on and I was in prison, I'm looking at my peers, right? And I'm like, I'm lonely. I'm super lonely. I'm lonely on the phone. Some of my peers, like people I knew on the phone, they was on the street, they never been in jail. I ain't got nobody to talk to.
Right.
Zero. There's not one person. I got to commend myself. This is to me in truth. What God's truth will do to your life. I'm lonely. So from the beginning, the program was designed to draw out like the X-Men, the other uncanny individuals such as myself.
Mm-hmm.
This is the reason. It's not out of arrogance. It's just I know that there are a chosen few, like I said, that's chosen for this. That this is what they're going to do. This is their path.
Right.
Is everything I do is set up to draw that out, so that I would have people to talk to, and that's what started happening. Because a lot of guys would go through the class, but I would have that small group that would go through every session. It wouldn't matter. Every module, they would come. Maybe we 5 modules in, we 6, they still coming. You know, they still coming. I come in now, they coming to hear me talk. They still coming. They still hungry. They building. They looking for the books. They giving me books. They, you know, so it was always just like now, nothing's changed. That's why I turned into a 12-hour training now. That the 12-hour training qualifies you for the book club. Remember, it's always started with a book club. I've always wanted to do a book club. I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I finally done figured out now how to do the book club the right way. Because before I would try to do the book club, be me and like 3 other nerd dudes. We already talked to each other, trade books, and ain't nobody else coming to this. Because you got to prepare the mind. People, it's stuff in people, they don't even know that's in them. They don't know, that's why they're so frustrated. You so frustrated because you planted in a family where you ain't even supposed to be.
Wow.
You know, like I had to come from out of an environment that wasn't built for me. The first environment I was planted in with my family, God bless them, I wasn't meant to be there. So I had to be pulled up out of an environment so I can go into a different type of soil so I could be cultivated and blossom and become who I needed to become. It's like Joseph. Now, I'm not saying I'm righteous as Joseph because Joseph went to prison for righteousness. But it was the same thing. You had to be taken away from a place you weren't supposed to be so that you could be cultivated in your gift because you couldn't see your gift there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because everybody in that environment needed you to be this person so they can be comfortable. The beauty about prison, nobody in prison don't care what you are. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? That is one of the beautiful things, how it's a whole different type of like mindset can be. No one cares who you are in prison.
Right.
So you can decide to make it up as you
all old dope stories, they don't really care about.
No one cares. no one cares. You got everything is stripped. Your whole identity is stripped. So whatever you decide, whatever fantasy to make it through prison, you have to have fantasies and dreams. Fantasies and dreams are cool to a certain extent, but at some point they got to turn into visions and plans. Fantasies and dreams don't amount to nothing. There's no blessing in fantasy and dream. You got to turn that into a vision and a plan. With vision comes a plan. That's how you know if it's a vision or a dream. A dream don't come with no plan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something controversial. You know, I had to hit y'all with something controversial, something crazy. I had to piss everybody off. I got to piss everybody off. When Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech, right? The problem was it wasn't a vision. It was a dream. There was no plan. See, a vision come with a plan. A dream just come with something you're thinking about. Intellectual masturbation.
Well,
there was no plan.
Well, I thought the plan was
you keep getting busted in the head with bottles.
Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah. No retaliation. You know what I'm saying? Just,
you know, I gotta say something controversial. Man.
That was helpful.
I gotta say something controversial. Come on, keep getting busted in the head with bottles.
All right, Malcolm. Malcolm was my guy too. And Malcolm said that too. He's like, man, how long we gotta get in there? Hey, man, but no. Hey, man, we can stand there and take it, man. You know, I'm saying. Well, the goal was if we stand there and take it long enough, like you said, it's gonna come back around, and like karma, good things gonna happen.
But see, that ain't Jesus don't write nowhere in the Bible about no getting busted in the head with no bottle. He ain't talking about.
Well, people can say now the good things that we have going on came from that.
No.
Hey, Malcolm said a lot of that stuff happened because they saw the opposite and they didn't want to deal with the opposite. So they'd rather stay over that way instead of come and deal with us.
It's only 2 reasons why you have a shift in any society. One is war, bloodshed.
Yep.
The people that are under the people study the people that's in power.
You got to take it. Yeah.
And then they say, hey, enough is enough. We're going in, we're going to war.
That's what Marlowe did. He took it from Boxdale.
Exactly. Yep. War brings about disruption. Bloodshed is equal freedom. The second way is when the oppressor figures out a way, because see, the oppressed have no responsibility. That's why they slaves. War comes with responsibility. Freedoms come with a lot of responsibility, a lot of burden. So the oppressor decides, hey, guess what? What do they want to do? What are they talking about down there? How can we stay in power and then give them the illusion that they've gotten something?
Right.
That's what happened. That's what happened. Because they realized due to technology, things would change. That's a deep cut. We ain't gonna go into that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not saying nothing bad about Martin Luther King. Brilliant young brother, one of the best writers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
His plan was not good. I don't want no parts of it. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out of the drink. I'm out. I'm out. For that reason, I'm out. Mr. Wonderful, I'm out. I don't want no parts of it. I'm out.
The other illusion was that education was the key.
Right. I'm out.
Yeah,
because my oppressor can't educate me.
Right.
Harriet say, I'm on Harriet's plan. Yeah. If they would have known they were slaves, I could have got them off the plantation.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to wake you up. I ain't teaching you nothing. I just want to show you, hey, look, you a slave. Because once I don't think about it, what that means. If I'm a slave, that means what? I can only know I'm a slave in comparison if I know what freedom is. Now, this might go too deep. This is going to go over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah.
This is why it makes me cringe when I hear somebody in 2023 talking about, it's like we in slavery. What you're telling me is that you're a slave. No, it's not like we're in slavery. We're not in anything. I'm not a slave. You're a slave. That's what you're telling me. Because for me to understand what a slave is, that means I have to understand freedom. In contrast, the only way I can be sold on an idea. See, if I don't know what freedom is, then slavery is acceptable. Because I don't know what it looked like no way. Right. How would you know? Mr. Fleming, how you know you got your destination of freedom? How would you know?
Right.
How would I know?
Well, let me ask you this then, since we on that subject, and we can go all night on that one. What do you? What's your thoughts about Kanye when he said slavery was a choice?
Listen, I was talking Saturday night to a group, and that shut the whole thing down. The people said, "Listen, man, you was good, but this dude an idiot. I'm gone." Dude stood up and said, "Well, what if that was I said that too. I said, y'all hate Kanye for the truth. Kanye said they chose to be slaves. He told the honest to God truth. Y'all hate him for it. And everybody that hate him for it, what you really saying, because all hypothetical do is bring out what's in you. Really what you were saying is you a slave. Because anybody that's not a slave understands exactly what he meant. Because the question is, if you were in those times, would you
just gonna die?
We're gonna die anyway. Why die here? Why die like this? Why choose? Because you have to accept it. So that means you're choosing to be a slave. Because everybody didn't. Everybody didn't choose. Harriet Tubman didn't choose to be one. Everybody that went back north would have didn't choose to be one.
There's a documentary out on this white slave master lady in New Orleans. I mean, they talked about how she was the most ruthless and how she had a attic where it was nothing but black guys up there, heads chopped off. They still chained up, people still living, but their arms cut off. I mean, it was awful. And make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.